Hi everyone, ready for some little artsy tips? So we have our rot jar and we want the little design on the bottom, but I know how hard it is sometimes to freehand stuff, especially when it's on glass and you can't really see it. So I have a little tip to make it easier for you. First thing we want to do is mark out what we need, and I wanted to use the Milky Way Galaxy because I think it's very fitting for this project. So put it down, get a printout that's about the same size as the bottom, and then line it up. You might have to sit over it, and then get a pen. I like to use chalk markers because they're very easy to get off the bottom of the jar. So go and outline it, line it up perfectly, and then outline it. And then you've got your circle about where you want it on your thing. So go ahead and cut that out. And you might have to cut it a little bit smaller to fit inside your jar, but then you'll end up with something like this. That's perfectly the shape of the inside of your jar. And don't be worried if you have to take it out 3 or 4 times and kind of reline it up. That's normal, that's gonna happen. And then get your tape. Make sure the center is taped. And it's just enough to tack it on there. You don't really need anything special, but just enough to tack it on there. And you want to still be able to see mostly where it's at least a good guesstimate. And it doesn't have to be the Milky Way. I just thought the spiral was cool and I didn't want to take forever trying to make it work. I just thought this would be a good way to quick and easy kind of cheat on it. With it being a chalk marker, you can definitely go and just use something to wipe it off the bottom. And you can do it with like washable markers or anything like that. Anything that'll just wipe off, vis-a-vis. And the hardest part is actually getting the tape on the inside and getting it to line up. It might even be easier to put the tape on the inside of the jar and then put it down. But yeah, you live and you learn. Art's all about making little mistakes. It's all about adjusting things, and that's the best part of art, is it's something that you make with your hands. It's something that you're putting your time and effort into, and it doesn't have to be perfect. Like, we would love it to be perfect, but a lot of times that ruins art because then it doesn't imitate nature, because nature's never perfect. But once you have it down, oh, and that side didn't quite adhere correctly, but it doesn't really matter. It looks something like that. And then you can just go through with your permanent marker or whatever you want to draw it on with paint and just draw it on. And I'm personally going to do just a series of little dots. A little bit of stratigraphy I think is perfect for this project. But then just dot it up. And just have fun with it. Like, you're creating something. And it's important, if you're using this for spell work, to put your intent into the design too. So the intent I want to put into this design is pretty much the cosmos. And I really like doing it for the rot jar we're going to be creating in a little bit, because it really signifies how things always return to chaos. It's one of those laws of nature, and nothing's ever permanent. Things will always be chaotic and things will always return to chaos. And it's important to understand that that's part of life. Things devolving is important as things evolving. And so I think with the universe, it really signifies that, because things are always moving, no matter if we think they are or not. We just can't see things on a grander scale, and it's important to know that things are moving all around us and things we can't see. And that extra level of chaos in the world is good to know that it's there, because it really helps everything come together. Even though it's chaos, there's still so many laws of nature governing it. There's still gravity. It still obeys by the same laws that we have to obey by, but at the same time, it's making something new every single day. Stars are colliding, things are crashing into each other. There's so much chaos in the world, and it's all spreading out no matter what we do. There's nothing we can do to control the macro element of it, even if we try to control the micro and what's happening in our lives. It's sometimes important just to realize that we can let go. So feel free to go and take your time. It doesn't have to be anything special, but even just that, we're starting to get kind of the dots of the universe, all of those little stars working together and everything to make the world as we want it. Here we go. So that's what we got after we did all of our stratigraphy, like the little tiny dots. But feel free to draw whatever you want, whatever it represents to you. To me, I just thought that for this particular project, the chaos of the universe is the perfect symbolism for it. And then you can take off your guide. There we go. Yeah. And then just don't forget to wipe it off so that it's nice and clean, so that when you do your project, you don't get the little chalk marker all over everything. But I hope that helped, and you can use it for anything that's glass, and there's even some techniques you can use for things that are plastic or something else like that too. So I hope that helped. Have a good day.